Artezinho na curta, de bunker, o primeiro, o segundo, vai Artezinho!
Welcome back, everyone, to VCT Americas here, the kickoff, as we are now tied up in this series. 1-2-1. MIBR as well as Leviatán, and the bananas are out. It's time for some potassium, baby.
They're out, but they're not in anybody's mouths.
That's it. Oh, okay.
Dude, don't take this the wrong route, Alex.
It was just the fact that you said it with such authority.
Out of here.
With such confidence. It was like,
how am I 10 years younger than both of you?
Okay.
And I'm the only adult at this age.
I can't trust anything he says. Okay? Everything he says is a fraud.
I was being serious. I'm stating facts.
All right. Hey, well, you know what was a fact on that one? We finally got to see this awesome Duelist head-to-head really come to fruition here, because Demon 1 Aspas certainly had a lot of highlight multi-kill flick shot moments. We'll start here with Demon 1. We were concerned about Demon 1 in this series. We even said, hey, brother, maybe you should go to the smokes. But it seems like in this case, man, something woke up in Demon 1.
No, for sure. Literally, since round 12 of game 1, this guy has been absolutely playing out of his mind. And he's also going with an agent swap on this map. We just saw him play the Yoru on this map versus G2. That didn't end well for him. But on the Jet, he was completely unleashed, and especially his play with the Outlaw.
And that's the thing also for MIBR. You're prepared to play against how they pulled the Yoru for Leviatán, but then now you have to adjust onto the Demon 1 on that Jet. And it worked pretty well. And it's also thanks to Aspas just going nuclear as well.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, also talking about Aspas there as well, right? Demon 1 had incredible moments, but Aspas...
Look at these shots.
I mean, we wanted to highlight this because just...
He's good.
Shot, dude!
So we talked to Zap about this, and he had said Aspas goes through the paces of practicing all of these different angles.
Look at
where, like,
this.
just the fact that he doesn't even go into the animation of the freaking scope, and then he still hits him and backs away. It's insane.
And we gave a chance to put that into slow motion so that we could actually react and see what the hell happened. But in real time, it almost looked like he was playing Omen and just TP'd out instantly when he went through that Astro Wall. So again, it goes back to what we were mentioning before pre-game, where you have Aspas playing on the defensive side. He doesn't need that much utility around him so that he could get the most effect out of the operator, which then means for MIBR overall, they have a lot more util to work with on other parts of the map to contain their opponents.
Yeah, it really has just been so many amazing things you could pull away from this game across the board, right? But now we do have to talk about when MIBR started to make this run happen, when they started to get themselves back into this game. One of the big moments there, that bonus.
It started with this bonus. Like, there were a lot of rounds in this game where Leviatán just sort of left this huge gap in mid. And here, they'd already picked off Aspas early in the round. But when this exec comes in, Artisan hits a knife backside that spots out both players. Then he just straight up kills them both. And Leviatán were offside, so 3 players shifted over towards the A side of the map. And I think that was sort of indicative of future rounds as well, whether it was the Cortesia lurk into Art towards the end, that second to last round where he finds 2 kills. There was a lot of gaps in that mid defense that MIBR were able to find.
And when Cortesia was able to find those timeouts, it was, or those timings rather, on towards that A side, it was also thanks to another big round from MIBR, a thrifty round where they worked towards that street into a pulse plant. There was good stalls coming out here from Leviatán, but Noswar popped out on the Sheriff. That actually broke the economy of Leviatán to allow here MIBR to secure at least that 12th round. Then you have 3 chances to close out, and they did it right away. So that was actually some pivotal moments where it's so interesting to see that in Valorant, it's just like one small thing could really change the outcome of that game, no matter how good your players look.
For sure. And I think one thing that MIBR have to, or sorry, rather Leviatán have to be aware of is that when MIBR are winning these pistol rounds, they're going for true FPX buys, right? So they're going two pistols plus 3 rifles, so that round 3, it's not a real bonus. They're fighting you with rifles, so it really can allow them to snowball early rounds.
Yeah, and of course, great game plan for sure. Now we're going to be looking forward to Split. And the last time we saw MIBR on this map, we were treated to Artsin's amazing raise. So I'm looking forward to that here. But, you know, actually something I did want to ask, though, is about just like how these series have been playing out. Because, fellas, this has been a very wacky game. Game started off very lopsided, and then out of nowhere, it's like, oh, it's just flipping. What do you think is going on here?
I mean, it's just teams being able to play in their comfort and finding their footing as soon as everything went right, at least for the side of Leviatán, and then also going into the map pick for MIBR. Well, you saw how they're able to just understand what their game plan was if they had to play the comeback. The most interesting for me, though, is talking about that split map, because we get to a point where both of these teams didn't get to show too much of their games. It was a 13-6 for Leviatán against Furia, then it was a 13-3 here against EG for MIBR, and then you have a double duelist versus a single duelist with Demon 1 back onto a Raze. I want to know what Leviatán's game plan is to try to stop them.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to be really aware of those split hits, whether it's, one player going up the ramps, the Raze double satcheling over towards your rafters, over on the A side of the map, pinch hits into mid as well. It's going to be mid control that Leviatán need to regain after they got punished there on Pearl. Split, it is critical.
That's right. Elimination on the line, folks. Map 3 is up next. Whoever wins this moves on, and the losers tournament ends here and now. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we return, plenty more action. We'll see you soon.
In case elimination was not enough to build suspense and to get you invested in the story, we're going all the way. We're going the distance. And again, we've got the double duelist comp that MIBR debuted, but they showed yesterday. And that's what Leviatán are going to have to solve.
And Artsine looked great on that Raze as well. He had so many impactful kills with the shotguns, right? I mean, it was just crazy the stuff that he was doing and the space that he was creating for Aspas on the attacking side to kind of close out that game against EG. And for the side of Leviatán, you have to keep your head into this. We've seen how overwhelming MIBR can be on this map, and I'm really wondering this time around if Cortesia will get punished in that mid area where we saw him get so much value yesterday.
Yeah, I think part of the question is, I mean, again, this was what, 24 hours ago?
Yeah.
How much prep?
How much can you change?
Yeah, I imagine the guys on the LEV coaching staff haven't slept, haven't been able to do much other than watch this film.
Yeah.
And again, there it is. It's that double duelist comp. It's out.
Yeah. And I think if you're on the side of Leviatán, I mean, the best way to deal with this is if you run a cipher of your own, right? You have these trip plays that can catch off a lot of these duelists. Yes, keep in mind the Raze nade can break a lot of that, but you can get really creative with a lot of the positioning of this utility to make sure it still gets value, and you have more info than the other side. So a lot of the success we saw MIBR have, specifically on their defensive side, which we'll get to in the second half, was aggressive plays. But Leviatán's comp is built around that. It's built to outplay that.
The comp was built to outplay that. The roster was built to win championships. This was not where they imagined they'd find themselves at this point in the tournament. But lo and behold, that's where we are, and that's already an opener for Artsine. You talked about how good he looked yesterday. Again.
I mean, I'm telling you, he just gets on the Raze and he just does some crazy things.
Trap covering a little bit. Tex is going to have to deal with a whole lot more than just that. He finds a second, feels a little bit of pressure out from Noswer, who's weak. He's buying a lot of time here, and he's getting a kill. But Artsine trading back. Demon 1 weak. The spike's not in hand currently.
Shenum has been so clutch, though, for this squad.
Oh, and he's found a timing. He's found some space. The smoke goes down. He's been found too. King left in 1v1. The paranoia out. The classic doesn't even get a chance to fire off. That's 3 for the Raze and the pistol for MIBR.
When it's Raze, Artsine will deliver. A 3K on the pistol round, picking up right where he left off yesterday. And already, the momentum in favor. Tex, he does such a good job of anchoring these sites. He did so much work. The back and forth dance. stuck in elbow, but it's just not enough. The sheer force that this double Duelist composition has, it's so much to deal with.
They're going to have to solve these on the fly. You talked about how the defense was kind of built, the composition was built to deal with stuff like this, but
they have the tools.
Sure.
But the rotations need to be a little bit better. And what is that? Some nice shots from Cortesia, and that'll draw another player here. So the pack in B main, they don't really have to do anything. Cortesia can just walk his way all the way through. He has all that A site for free, and that's the callback. I mean, Com's stuck A ramp alone with just a shorty, even if he hears the footsteps walking through water.
At best,
they're not going to go up there.
Yeah, at best, he gets 2.
Oh, but wait. They do want to go through vent. He could. Yeah, he could pick off 1, maybe. You might be onto something.
Hey, you're talking best case scenario, though.
Hey, he's playing the perfect spot, but he gets caught with his knife out. That's just tough.
I think there was so much advantage in space that Cortesia was able to garner for MIBR that, yeah, a lot of it rode on Com being able to pull off a miracle, right?
Yeah.
A magic trick. And
yeah, those 2 kills solidify the anti-eco for MIBR. And he just becomes a human drone at that point.
now, I think part of the conversation we need to have now is what the bonus looks like, because we've seen it happen a few times for both teams throughout this series. You take a look at MIBR, they've got 4 rifles, but more importantly, Artzine's 1 pip from his ult.
Yeah, and he's going to go hunting. He's going to try to find where these players are. He only has a ghost. Keep that in mind. He might not find them, but still, you can default on this map so slowly, methodically, get that orb gathered onto him, formulate the right plan to start taking a lead into this series.
He might get it.
Yeah.
He's really fast on this.
Cat. He was spamming the smoke, got a little tag, but the headshot doesn't connect. So he doesn't have the showstopper quite yet, but it's so easy to grab that B main orb. Maybe you'll see Leviatán set up a trap play there. Maybe a little bit of orb denial on that side. It looks like MIBR might be anticipating something of that sort and just all going towards this A site. There is going to be a late lurk from none other than Shenum. The 4-1 has been a good recipe of success for MIBR. We saw that on the Pearl map. This is a unique cam. He's right over that Viper wall. I have not seen this one yet.
You've got to commit so far up to clear it, too. Big out from Demon 1. That's one Duelist dealt with. The nade's going to buy a little bit of time. Steps back into the spit, though, and finds some cover.
And with that kill, he evens the score between him and Ospas, that head-to-head duel.
Meanwhile, our team did convert on getting the rocket. Com is just on the other side. Is he going to be found? They know he's there, but no.
No value.
No joy. And so now off of this, numbers the way of the defense. MIBR did invest into this. Namely that ult. But Demon 1 with a second.
Last player standing.
No bonus this time around.
Yeah. A flawless round for Leviatán, dodging the rocket, getting the first blood onto Ospas. Demon 1, we saw him get going on the raise. I mean, he had a good monstrous performance on that Jet 2 in the last map. Unfortunately, wasn't able to close it out, but he's really shown a lot of value here for this Leviatán roster. He's answered a lot of questions that have been out there on if he's flexible enough to play other duelists.
Into the next we go. Lev with a comfortable investment here. I think one of the things we talked about earlier was the middle of the map. And yes, defensively, Cortesia was able to find a lot yesterday. Com not finding the same success.
I think he may have just gotten taken out on a jump spot or a jiggle. That was a laser beam of a shot by Ospas in mid. And with that, the entire map opens up. Cortesia, he's going to have to relieve some of this pressure in B main, maybe try to break some of this Cypher utility, make his presence known. Otherwise, you are going to be running into a stack. 3 members of Leviatán towards this B site.
Cortesia dealt with.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the map becomes smaller for MIBR.
I mean, they don't really have space anywhere.
All they have is B main. That's why they're re-clearing this middle area. They're going to go for a B split, but if you look at the minimap, King is ready with a paranoia. You have a tank backside B to pop flash himself for the B main kills.
There's a paranoia at the ready that you mentioned.
But it's way too early, Doug.
It's going to buy some time. Demon 1 trying to get on this aggressive angle. 1 kill found, but traded right back. Artsine, how much more can he find? Satcheling forward, but down from hell, they're plucked. Oh, the clip runs dry. He's got to stay alive. Shannon on the reposition, the spike in hand. So uncomfortable. No real space to commit to getting the spike plant down.
Tex will pick up that kill and finish the round out for Leviatán. That setup, it was fortified, man. Yeah, the paranoia is really early, but the pop flash from the tank and backside. Oh, disgusting shot from Ospas. Calm. He's gonna be thinking twice before he jiggles that one.
With a Phantom, no less.
Yeah, a little bit of wallbang action, but yeah, that setup was almost perfect. The paranoia, it delayed enough for Demon 1 to get a little bit ahead, get 1 kill before getting traded. But in the tank in that backside, that pop flash, you cannot predict that. If you're the attacker, Naswar, he gets punished for that. And now the economy is not looking too good for MIBR. It's stingers across the board, seeing if they can get anything done this one way.
No, remember that smoke leaves a gap. Yeah. Our team getting tagged as soon as he goes forward, trying to satchel out, getting ahead of the paranoia. And a stinger in his face, the controller is down.
He really is a psychopath on this raise.
Calm from up in heaven. Only able to find a little bit. But you're right, with reckless abandon, Artsine continues to push. Demon 1 trying to do a bit of the same on the ropes, gets the best of Naswar.
Last player standing.
Oh, now pop, Demon 1, a 1v3. That's gonna connect onto 1, but that's not enough. A thrifty round win for MIBR.
Artsine is just a maniac, the way he takes his timings with these satchels to get up close and personal in your face with that stinger. King, he gets caught with utility out. You think the paranoia is gonna connect, but even if it does, it doesn't matter. He's Goomba stomping you. And the cleanup with the rest of the shots of that stinger. Ooh. Wasn't a headshot, but still. Nice little dandy flick there. And Artsine, he's 1 orb away from another showstopper. Yeah, didn't get value the first time around, but how?
I mean, but at this rate, he's gonna have 4.5.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if this keeps up.
Yeah, he's in heaven. He's in heaven, Doug.
The guy's just playing at his own pace, and they're not ready for it. Oh, now popped. Kill now found. They have to find a way to deal with this aggression from Artsine.
Yeah, this tempo is insane, and then if it's not him, Ospas is still dashing into sight, getting value of his own. It's already a 2v4. It's been 20 seconds into the round. And they're going for this.
Feeling like they have a shot at this, a competitive round. Waiting for the swing from the other side, and I don't know how much more they can invest into this. I don't know how much more they can keep up this pursuit.
Oh, you can't. It's 4v2. With Shenum getting out of dodge like that, he can play that extra Astra Star. He's playing it so safe for that very reason. And MIBR, it doesn't look like they want to hunt too much here because their economy of their own, it's okay. You have 2 members sitting pretty healthy, but the rest, I mean, you're going to have to buy up Artsine. Save as much as you can. A blistering pace has been set here on the final map of this series.
Healing over here.
That's very impressive with a team full of rookies, Doug.
I think part of the question that Leviatán have to answer right now is how do they stop an unstoppable object?
It's supposed to be Tex. He's supposed to be the guy.
There's only so much you can do on one site, though, right? And if they continue to guess the right way or find out where the cipher is and then hit elsewhere.
Yeah.
That is a tough problem to solve.
You're just left playing retake simulator for the rest of the half.
Right. And again, this is elimination. There's no, well, we can figure it out. We'll go on a lower bracket run.
No, this is it. It's do or die right now. Keep in mind, MIBR have never bested Leviatán.
Oh, that nade's going to hurt. He swings ahead of it. 21 HP, make that 14.
We talk so much about the head-to-head between Ospas and Demon 1, but now we have to factor in Artsine and Demon 1.
Quietly perched up with the Bucky on the other side. The dog's actually going to flash up towards Tex. And instantly, both teams calling a rotate out.
Yeah, this is very smart calling from Noswar because on the previous map of Pearl, every time they showed utility, they went the other way. When they saw the stack, this time, doubling back. These are the mind games that evolve during a match.
Starting to dump out some utility. Artsine satcheling forward. Oh, but they're both stunned. Com holding the line. Finding two. Now pit dropped. Gotta connect more, but again, the spam from Cortesia instantly drops it. And so with the goo gone off the screen, MIBR pushing forward.
Spike planted.
Tax on a solo mission. Got the sky not far off. That's one kill found. More to connect though, and it's all gonna be Tex. He's gotten two on the round. Can he connect on the third? See the gravity will come through. Not able to get it to half. Had to take a step back. Cam cleared 54 HP. This game of cat and mouse on the tap. Tex on the swing, and no! Again, it's MIBR who are navigating these one-on-one situations and coming out on top.
Individual legacies are born in matches like this, Doug. And Shenum has had so many clutches in this series alone. He's really made a name for himself here on the North American stage. MIBR looking to break the mold.
3 rounds up, 3 ults to play with. Noswar flirting with the 4th. You hear the blades used at the beginning of the round. By who else but Aspas? We've been talking a lot about his counterpart, and for good reason. But thrust into a position to make a play here. Com's just been bullied off of this angle, man.
He's just been getting ran at no matter where he is. I mean, he got a lot of work done with the Bucky on the A-side hold, but MIBR, they're being methodical now.
Oh, the middle of the map has just been theirs.
And just think about the tempo switch up, how fast they've been playing, and now the slow approach. Depositing Aspas in the mid. I mean, this is a beautiful Valorant to be watching, and it's so impressive from MIBR. This is a massive round for Leviatán if they want to have a chance in this map.
You are divided.
30 seconds left.
Cosmic Divide invested. You see the paranoia. Dropped. Again, satcheling forward. Artsine there. Again, a little bit too trigger happy here.
Just an absolute madman.
But they've got to speed up on this. The blade's now blunted. And there's no way through. Noswar's got 10 seconds left. He's got the cabbages out. He's going to try to swing his way out to join it. He's got to take this fight on to Demon 1, but there's not going to be enough time, I don't believe.
No way.
No shot. Now a 1v2. What can Tex and Com do? They'll take care of that.
Noswar, it looked like he had a chance right there. Tex just too sharp right now. We said he was the man that needed to step up. Not allowing that 2v1 from the IGL of MIBR. Stopping the bleeding just a little bit. Giving Leviatán a fighting chance back into this map. Because if they had lost that round, their economy would have been broken. MIBR would be sitting at 7 rounds potentially.
Dude, whatever. That's a .06.
Ridiculous things we've been witnessing today here. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a lot of B pressure, a full B hit. We finally saw Artsine get punished on those double satchel entries. King taking him out that time, but King only with a Bulldog. Paranoia does connect.
Artsine feeling a whole lot of pressure, but the spam through, connecting.
Yeah, would have taken out Aspas too.
He tried. King's Bulldog dealing a little bit of damage, doing a little bit of work.
Do you invest the Viper's Pit here if you're Cortesia? I feel like you should. He gets taken out.
Yeah, he's not going to get a shot at it. Now a 2v2, Shenum committing to the plant. Tex is in a really good spot. The nade's going to help off the swing, though. He's going to try to play around this, and there's not a lot of room. Noswer against Tex. A 1v1. How does Noswer play this? Trying to get out, trying to stay alive, and Tex saves the day for Lev.
How many times is he going to bail Leviatán out? But at this point, he's Mr. Reliable. He keeps on giving for Lev. So many clutch moments, so many 1v1s won. And now Cortesia left thinking maybe he should have invested that Viper's Pit to secure that round. How many times is he gonna Nice work.
A timeout called, wisely so. The first from either side.
And of course, in map 3 fashion on split, it's a banger.
That is what they say, all bangers end on split.
Yeah, it's definitely what you say, that's for sure. You got me saying it now.
I mean, it's just right so many times.
Yeah, it is. It's such a good map. It's this back and forth chess game. MIBR, they were winning a lot of rounds with brute force. Tex, the one we said needed to step up, he's been doing just that. That's his role in this composition when you're playing against the double duelist. And okay, maybe it's not on the actual entries of the site, but when he's left alone, to be able to clutch up like that in 2 of the most impactful rounds when it comes to economy, when it comes to advantage, that's where you've seen his progression as a player.
I mean, he's kept them in this thing. He's answered the call.
Solely, and he's gonna have to deal with this overwhelming force that is the stinger of Artscene.
Satchel's Heart, remember, he hasn't been able to find any the last 3 times out. This will not be any different. The defense holding up just fine. Stalwart in their approach. Stalwart in their stand. A 1v1, again, it's Tex. Who else but Tex?
This time taking out Shedham to close it out. The other person on MIBR that has been winning every single clutch. Artscene is now getting punished. And you would think after the timeout from Fraud, maybe there's a mix of a game plan, maybe a better way to pad in, to enable Artscene to start getting a lot of those kills again. But the Nat setup.
Hey, Cian, you're cooking.
Yeah, the Nat setup was cooking right there. And so is Tex.
Lots of ults here. One of them popped. A flash to create a little bit of space. And he connects the fadeaway onto Calm.
But King with the swift trade.
The paranoia is going to buy a lot of time. And he's created some space. He's kept them at arm's length. Waiting for the smoke to dissipate, and now the bullets erupt, and they all go the way of MIBR. Cortesia holding the line. Pit put down. Is this a save? I think it is.
The rounds have been so close every single time. It's just been so many rifles getting out of the hands of each one another that even with Leviatán stringing a couple rounds together off of heroics from Tex, the economy is just so damned and doomed. Demon 1 looking for any type of exit. Maybe you can get that showstopper online for the next round, but MIBR, I thought they were just running their heads into a wall.
They have been the last couple of rounds.
But it worked. Finally, it worked. Demon 1 hearing a lot of footsteps here. He's going to take a peek, but I mean, if you drop here, that's a rifle gone.
That's a rifle gone, but an ult gain.
Yeah, that is true. Could be a wise trade-off. I will say, I don't think I've seen Demon 1 have that much impact with the Raze ultimates. Maybe he can change that here.
No, I do think that was an intentional call, yeah. Oh. To create a little bit of space.
Yeah, it's a fast reaction. Calm thought he had the one up. I don't blame him for going for a play like that.
No,
when it's
agree.
this close, it kind of feels like little things like that can really take your team over the edge, but he's been having a rough one. He's been getting punished.
And so again, look at the economy for Leviatán. You got a Judge, you got a Bucky, but you did exchange those for the ult of Demon 1. He's currently playing across the middle of the map. So he's not going to get any action early.
You do wonder, though, if that light armor is going to come back to bite him in the butt, because it's so easy to pluck him out of the sky. I mean, he's not even going to be in the sky. He has no satchels, and while that was all happening in the tank, he gets taken out by the signature outlaw buy.
You know, and for how fast these last couple of rounds have gone, how decisive MIBR have been, this is where they slow things down. This is where they decide that they want to play this carefully. The ult never even gets a shot.
Doesn't. Finally, that cool one-way cam is broken into heaven, and again, a lot falling on the back of Tex in this moment.
He's delivered, but our team is inevitable.
Spike down.
King left in a 1v4. The gamble to go for the ult for Demon 1 just doesn't pay off.
Spike planted.
Yeah, he walked down mid with it as well, not even having a chance to use it on a potential retake. All things considered, Leviatán, off of the back of Tex in this half, I think they've done a great job of making it close. So yeah, Aspas will secure the round win. It will be a 7-5 lead for MIBR.
Switching sides.
But for Leviatán, I think you weathered a lot of chaos very well.
I think the concerning thing as we start to think about the next half is that yesterday, MIBR won the majority of their rounds on defense.
Yeah, I will say though, a lot of those rounds were shown. So
Sure.
if Leviatán are prepped for this, if they have a good game plan going in on their attacking side like they did on Lotus,
We'll see how it plays out. We're going to take a break. The second half and the decider of Split on the other side. (15-9) out of RT, and as MIBR hanging on to a 2-round lead. And I think you can break down the nuance, you can break down the utility, but I think the reality is for our team, he shoots good. And he's been shooting way better than Lev have that entire half.
it's just so insane seeing how flexible a player like this can be and being able to go on the Duelist roll and just really turn it up.
Yeah.
He started it off on the pistol round, coming out mid, taking a head-to-head 1v1, winning it, going back, getting a 3K in the round, and we've seen him dominate yesterday with the Judge on this defensive side, jumping on heads like he was on that attacking side with the shorty. It's something that you have to be very careful about if you're Leviatán. You have to be ready for something like that, and I just don't know how you can prepare for that.
They're going to have to figure it out. I don't mean to be ominous, but our team dropped 18 kills on their defensive half yesterday.
Yeah.
18!
And he already has 15. He's on track to get a 30 bomb
Scout destroyed.
in such a high-stakes moment.
A lot of presence towards A. The attack wins it out. The spike's not in hand. The rotation's not really popping over.
Yeah, but with that shot, statement made, B might be on lockdown. Oh my goodness.
He's hearing everything, but they knew where he was. Wise to it, realizing the middle of the map was a weak point. Try to shore that up. But now I think you've got 50 seconds left in the round. You have a couple of options. You know that Aspas is B, or at least that's where you saw him last. Smoke and the wall go up, but they're not going over there.
You do have the numbers advantage, though, so I like this approach from Leviatán. You can get the trades if somebody is holding an off angle right now. And you can kind of sneak in, weasel up.
30 seconds left.
The element of surprise.
Yeah, you almost don't want to use utility in the
Nope.
spot.
He's turning the flash, but he can't land the shot. Shenum is in a really good spot, but he's got 12 HP.
And of course he gets the kill.
Spike down, B.
I mean, a bullet between his eyes. Forget about the HP. 13 seconds left. They have to get the spike planted.
10 seconds left.
Waiting for the swing. There's not going to be enough time. They commit. Cortezia is not able to stand. The pistol going the way of Lev. I mean, they played that about as well as you could possibly ask for.
Yeah, I love the approach that they did after they got those 2 entries on A. And Demon 1, the supporting cast with King right there. It was a little bit of a 1-2 punch in that A main area. Yeah, nice shot, but just looking away for a little bit too long was Ospas in that very moment. So pistol for pistol right now. Leviatán, they have a chance to tie things up here. Maybe get Demon 1 a little bit closer to a showstopper of his own to use on the bonus. And of course, when you see Heartzine on this map, he's gonna have some type of shotgun in his hand. This time a Bucky.
Yeah, we've alluded to it a couple of times, but it bears repeating because of where he is right now. Cortezia found so much success across the middle of the map yesterday. He was impenetrable.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's why you're seeing so much emphasis put on him in this very moment. Trying to make sure that he's scared of playing in these spots where he was punishing EG most frequently.
They managed to shove him off the angle, send him back towards heaven.
Because he was playing in those spots, even with a Sheriff. It didn't really, he honestly had no fear in that match. So it is going to be a gamble for MIBR towards this A site, and they're choosing correctly. But if Calm can get this opener on the opposite side of the map against Shenum, it could change things, and he's just going to fall back. So right now,
It's on the Bucky.
yep. And these satchels, they're going to make a big difference for Demon 1. He's going to have to spot him out here.
Nody's got an nade too. There's the flash, there's the satchels. They were ready for it. Instantly looking that way.
30 seconds left.
They have a little bit of space to play around now. Cortezia still getting one.
Standing.
That's insane.
Spike
Yeah,
down
Cortesia's
A.
looking sharp, man. I'm scared for Leviatán if they approach mid again.
The thing is, it was going to require a whole lot more than just one.
Yeah, for sure.
So Lev get the spike down, MIBR. The round left in Shenum's hands.
Yeah, without those good satchels from Demon 1, Artsy
Maybe.
never gets booped off of that line. Like, if you watched his POV, he couldn't really get his crosshair settled because of that little entry pathing from Demon 1. So,
I think the flash helped tremendously too.
yeah. Makes you have to turn quite a bit. But Leviatán, they will secure this with 3 potential rifles. And they're sitting pretty healthy. Demon 1 wasn't really able to get anything going to get closer to that showstopper, but that's okay because we've seen on this specific map some crazy highlights with him with the Guardian. I mean, you remember that clip in B Heaven.
Yeah, he's good with it.
Yeah, he's so precise.
There's that flash. You swing out off the satchels.
You just see Natank just run him down with a bulldog.
I mean, he knew what his job was.
But that one satchel just off-puts your crosshair. The Bucky, he didn't really move it at all.
Tied at 7-7. Hey, it's been we've talked about it. It's been heavily documented. Artsine was insane on MIBR's attacking side.
He played insane. It was mental.
The demand to replicate that success here. 7 apiece of lighter buy for Lev, a stinger, a dog out towards A, and Nasr getting pushed off the angle. The paranoia's been invested too, and Artsine is filling in on the space with what else than a judge.
Surely they know, but what can you do about it this time? It's not a Bucky.
Fool me once, but it doesn't seem like he's going to get a shot at this.
I mean, we saw this so much, though. The one-for-one trades for MIBR's defense, but they still converted almost every single round.
Do they check it again?
They know he's here.
Are they disciplined enough to check again? They knew. They swung him. They checked him.
I don't know how King lived in that moment. And remember, this is the bonus for Leviatán. Calm has weaseled his way all the way up B Heaven. He can secure this round win with a kill onto Aspas.
Well, not able to check that box.
Yeah, but look at the calling from Leviatán. King, off of
30
all that
seconds
pressure,
left.
understands that there's probably a heavy lean. They might have thought a rotation was coming through. And A site is completely open.
Spike crossed.
What utility are they going to have for the retake? Nasr has a flash, but they're planning for heaven. You've got Demon 1 up there. He's got to be able to hold the line. He's the key to the success here. Oh, they TP'd up. King has joined him. They're all up here. Trying to stand shoulder to shoulder. Duelist dealt with. And Aspas disposed of. Shannon snappy onto it. King meeting a similar fate. Now left on a 2v2.
They might be
Off
able
the
to stick
flash,
this.
off the swing. They've got to be able to win this space up in heaven. If Shenum can hold him back on his own, that very well might be it. Nasr's trying to stick it to half. That's 3/4 of the way. He's got to hit the swing the right side, and he can't. They lost the heaven fight, and they lost the round for it.
Shenum is becoming one of the most clutch players I have ever seen in the server. Taking out Demon 1, who had the only thing that could stop a full defusal of the spike. That head-to-head kill against King as well. He's unbelievable.
I got yous, okay?
He's turning out to be quite the superstar for this MIBR roster, and he bailed him out this time.
Early flash into the face of Tex, who has an outlaw this round. Oh, that's a lot mid. RT getting a lot of info. The dog's swinging head activity. He has to satchel back.
Did hear the judge as well, trying to break that Sky Dog. They're so worried about his positioning. He might get spammed in this spot too.
They're trying to get up over it. Again, no success for the shotgun. They've been forcing their way through this mid-fight, and so far, so good. Nasr is here, though. Tucked in the smoke. Now rotating away.
Yeah, all the meanwhile, Tex was just holding on to that A space, seeing if anybody pushed up. It's only Aspas on the other end here. But if you look at the minimap, MIBR now doubling up. They're going to get info in mid. They might be able to lean over towards this A site, have some backup.
Here. They're pinging back towards screens.
So worried about Vent.
I mean, as his seconds tick away, Nasr's filling in on that space to flash out. Aspas close, dashes away. Roomba chasing him down. You don't have time to flip the map here.
Oh,
You've got to commit, and Nasr has no idea, but Tex isn't looking either. Walks right into his crosshair. Leviatán avoid disaster, and we're tied again.
Oh, and you hate to see it, Nasr. Not clearing his corners, so convinced everybody was sitting in sight. And he's going to be beating himself up for that one. He's having a rough map, Doug. 2 and 12. His IGLing was good on the attacking side, but maybe a little bit of nerves setting in.
One enemy remaining.
And Tex, he didn't move his crosshair whatsoever. He was just so focused on screens. And he still gets 2.
Light buy for MIBR. A Guardian, a Bucky. Paranoia pushes Aspas away. They're gonna try to dance mid again.
Leviatán's approach on this attacking side, it's been very slow. Waiting for MIBR to do any type of aggression.
And so they know Cortese is there, and they know he's got a Guardian. That dog got a lot of info, and off of that, it seems like they want to go B.
Yeah, King is calling a great game right now. Dog to re-clear mid. That should be the cue for Leviatán to speed up a little bit.
I think the cue's equally for MIBR to turn attention towards B, and now the smoke has gone up. The rocket's been popped, and if we get to that point in the round, Aspas has blades. They're starting to rotate over.
Yeah, he pops him. He wants to go for it. I mean, why not?
76 HP. They've scaled up towards spawn. This is a lot for Shenum, and he can't hold him. They're not going to get a shot at this. Yeah, they got the blades, but it's a flawless round for Lev. They take the lead back.
Job well done. Another anti-eco in the books. But now, Leviatán are aware of the money that Aspas was sitting on. He's got an operator in his hands.
One enemy remaining. Flawless.
And I don't think the approach is going to be anything different. I think...
Yeah! Yeah!
I love his reactions. I don't think that you're going to see a change of pace from Leviatán. I think they're going to try to sniff out this operator, formulate a plan around it. Tex, he's still sitting on that outlaw. And he could win the head-to-head if he meets Aspas walking into his crosshairs, because Aspas is sitting on that light armor.
Yeah, he's posted up towards A, though. We're not going to see that fight at least early on this round. Pit invested across the middle of the map from Cortesia.
Forget just Aspas. Everybody on MIBR have light armor. So even Shenum in this back B side, he needs to be careful. He's making a lot of noise jump spotting. If Tex peeks and gets that insta-kill, it could open up this defense.
King has gone exploring. Aspas is on the other side. The flash going to connect. And now a question for King. Do you swing into this? Former teammates here. What a freeze.
Yeah, Leviatán very convinced that Aspas could have been opping that close B angle that we saw him in yesterday. But he wasn't there. That being said, all the space they have was gathered. Aspas wins that head-to-head.
They did so well to play around the wall as long as they did, but King just overstepping a tiny amount. Oh, more rope magic. This time Kong winning that out. Our team spamming into the smoke, the flash in his face, the satchel's out. A brutal shot out from our team. 13 seconds left. The spike still hasn't made its way out, and the majority of the defenses are here. They're going to have to force this, and I don't think they can.
Leviatán stuffed at the B site. They guessed incorrectly. They thought the operator was posted on that close B line. That's why you saw the orb go up. That's why you saw the dog. And King, taking all that A ramp space, was not ready for that deep, deep off angle from Aspas. What a good job from the star duelist, one of Brazil's finest, to reposition all the way far back and allow somebody to walk into his crosshair. It's just a free kill at that point.
I think for as quiet as Artine has become, as he's been trying to force the judge and the Bucky in some of those tight spots, that kill onto Demon 1, satcheling across on his side is huge.
Yeah, he dodged the flash.
Yeah, and it was short time in the round.
Yeah.
I mean, he falls all of a sudden. They still have a lot more space on the side, and then, you know, maybe things go the other way, but big kill out from him.
And Doug, this timeout is almost certainly about how you're going to deal with the opping setups of MIBR. How are you going to maneuver around the map? You just saw Aspas at A. How are you going to fish out for this information? You might need to start using aggressive cams towards one side, Sky utility on the other. Start gaining information. Deduct where Aspas could be with that operator. You don't want to get first blooded by this. It's a huge win condition for MIBR, and it also opens up the opportunity for Artscene to start closing out some of these rounds.
One away from his ult. Currently A. Meanwhile, the op trains mid. Flash confirming there's no one up on the aggro angle ramps. And that's where Aspas is headed. Both duelists towards A. This is going to be a matter of timing because the info that they get from clearing out A ramps from the dog should queue for the rotate back B.
Yeah,
and that's where LEV are.
Yeah, but we've seen King get wicked with this Omen ultimate. There it is. He's going back sight with it.
If they can land on the dog bite, he's fully sticking it. Meanwhile, Demon 1 not able to find his way out. King back sight. Again, the defense holds. Stuffed B yet again. MIBR take the lead.
And you are so right, dog. It was the Sky that was able to relay all that information to allow all the B anchors to focus on their crosshairs, get ready for that site execute. And that's one we've seen so many times. That's a playbook that's all the way back from last year. Nice! What? And you see the importance of what that round is for MIBR. That's the man that is usually calm, composed, collected. He is out of his chair right now.
Up in the hands of Aspas and that knee, not connecting. Such a close shot. And as you've said before, Aspas shows his presence mid, now repositions. Not staying in the same spot.
He's going all the way back into B site.
Cortezia playing this off angle. Beautiful if you're MIBR. Because they don't, I mean, what do they use to clear this out?
Yeah, but he could get overwhelmed in this moment. A ping. Oh, he's walking on him.
Suspicious. Got to be careful here. Calm is close by.
Yeah, he'll get traded out if he
But
goes
it's just
for
a
it.
stinger. Whoa!
A whiff.
Buzzing right by his ear. And now an acceleration across the middle of the map. Flash traded. Cortezia again. Asked to deliver for MIBR. Finds his one onto Demon 1. And now they can reset off the round. Taking a quick step back, realizing Leviatán, they're the ones who have to make the play. The paranoia out towards B, but they're ahead of it.
30
Not
seconds
buying.
left.
Not taking the bait. Noswer's in a really good spot, and yeah, he's had a rough map, but he can secure this here. On to Tex, and now more A. Artzine has his rockets, and he's the only one back A. 2 satchels invested. And now the rockets pop, 10 seconds left. It's a matter of time. How much more can you delay? How much more can you deny? King's trying to do his best, but he can't get it down. MIBR get to 11.
Setting the pace, setting the tempo, and they can feel it. They're popping off. They're getting out of their seats.
I think Cortezia continues to establish himself on mid.
And you know who else has awoken in the server? It's Noswer. He was the only one that wasn't stepping up to the plate mechanically on this last map. They can feel it. They know this game is theirs. This would be the first time MIBR would have taken out Leviatán ever.
Cage is out towards A. Up high, back for the attack. The defensive side up hasn't found a ton these last couple of rounds, but it hasn't had to.
It's just the pressure alone of where he's positioned. Tex, he got lucky on that last one that he survived. That Aspas whiffed, because that's not something you can rely on. Good utility here.
It's diligent, but Aspas is going to have a shot to do it again. Procs his dash, but the spit, the smoke, everything is keeping him back. As it expires, he's going to have another shot at this. Calm has his ult. He's playing on the site, now dropped. And MIBR, it seemed like they're going to try to re-clear ramp.
They have to. It's the only way in.
King is so far back, though. I mean, the timing on this is everything. The flash not connecting on anyone. King's barrel spotted. Trigger discipline. But do you swing on a second? Do you clear another one? No! It's again disaster for Leviatán. Calm and Demon 1 have to hold them back on his own. And forget about numbers. You need magic. Can Calm play around his pit? Artzine has already gotten the defuse 3/4 of the way. And MIBR gets a series point.
The former champions just can't get the job done here. Overwhelmed by the tempo MIBR set in the first half. Now when they get the ball rolling on the defensive side.
One enemy remains.
Noswer online. Shenum online. Leviatán, they're crumbling.
MIBR are at the doorstep of their greatest performance in the partnership era. A top 4. With Bangkok still up in play, still up for grabs. But they often say the last step is the hardest. Can you put Leviatán away? Can you deal a devastating death blow? A roster that was built to compete for championships. Artzine on the swing, Tex overwhelming him, and now the neural theft.
Toxin screen down.
Calm is going to be on this late lurk. And they know where Aspas is. They're going to try to accelerate off this, but remember, there's more than just Aspas here.
Screen down.
It's been powered by committee for MIBR. The satchel through, Demon 1 up close and personal, the Guardian, finding its mark.
Time to hunt.
And now the dog off the swing. The need for a 3v5 or the map continues. Money's in a great spot here for MIBR. Calm is on the lurk. If you're Leviatán, you're going to want to get Demon 1 to get one step closer to this ult, so you maybe have it in the next round. But you've got to survive here first. And they've got him huddled in. Even if they win this round, the money's going to be really bad for Leviatán. They've got to try to save as many of these as they can. That could be the difference maker. That's one rifle down. Traded back, though. They carry 2. But they've got nowhere to go. This fight is going to be huge, and Aspas gets both out! Yes, Leviatán win the round, but at what cost?
What an important, impactful decision to be made from MIBR. The economy for Leviatán, as you said, it's completely broken. With all those kills, yeah, they win the round. Yeah, they give themselves a fighting chance. But they have worse weaponry in this round than the last.
Light armor on 3 members, a Bulldog, a Guardian.
And Demon 1, he has to come up huge with the showstopper. If not that, he has to land every single shot.
Now Tank has his ult as well. A lean towards B. This is fast. They're fully committing onto this, and again, the suck! Traded 1 for 1. Both raises off the board. And now a 4v4. Look at how far back Shenum is here. Tex has a chance to make a really big play. There's a lot of noise being made, and he's buying his time. He's playing it perfectly. Off the dog, he's been spotted. He slipped the net, but now he knows. Aspas drops him. 3 members left on either side. As the spike ticks away, King gets another. They're going to be able to convert off of this. Barring heroics from the 2 that remain. Can Shenum do it on his own? No.
One round to bring it to OT. Leviatán have dug deep.
We talked about it, Trey. The last step is often the hardest one to make. And so, yeah, you've got Lev on the ropes.
But closing it out, that's a different story. Final timeout of regulation.
In case you didn't have enough suspense,
Oh my goodness.
let's go ahead and take a break and think through what's going on here. We've talked about the stakes a couple of times, but it's worth hitting because this is the last round of regulation. MIBR win this, they best Leviatán. A top 4 finish, still in the fight for Bangkok. And the tone, the identity around this organization changes. From bottom feeders to competing on the international stage would be huge. And I think on the other side of the stage, you've got to look at Leviatán, a roster that was built to compete. You signed Demon 1, intending to take the place of Aspas, and yeah, that's much easier said than done, but this is where you find out what you're made of.
And it looks like it's just gonna be an A hit here. Aspas with the operator. He needs to hit this shot. He needs to be the leader. Not just out of the server this time. He's got to get the job done inside of it.
It's going to be fast. They've got the cam that's going to spot him pretty quickly. The flash, turn, not committing. He's got to get up, he's got to get out, and he can't. Signs of life for Leviatán, but they're instantly snatched back as Tex falls. They're fully investing into this. Hard scene settling the shots. Now a rocket of his own from on high. Only one found. A 2v2. As there's a brief moment of respite. The spike now committing onto the side, a second guess, and now
Poison's on.
dropped. Silence across the map. Guessing on where either team can be. Com's got to play this up close. With the newest addition to the roster, the European import side by side, the gravity well, you know the swing is inevitable, and attack's there to hold the line. Shenum's been clutch, but a 1v2 clutch, that's a big ask. And 6 bullets left, 2 targets to find. A reload.
Concealment.
Ballsy to go astral form there. He's gonna get spammed through a tap. Can he find it? No! Regulation, not enough. We're going to overtime.
What a punish onto Aspas. All that utility, it was just too much. He got completely overwhelmed. And that's something that you don't see. Aspas, he's the one that makes the clutch moments. He's the one that finds the opening to close out maps for his team. This time, he had the knives online. He had an op in his hands, and he got nothing done.
Let's go. Come on.
It's tried, but it is true. Pressure makes diamonds.
Here.
Yet to be decided who's going to be shining. Fast from MIBR towards A. And a reset of the situation. Cam getting a little bit of info. But MIBR not fully pouncing off of this. Now they're dropping the Astra Stars A. There is no second plan. There is no plan B. There's no late lurk. There's just Artzine. Cracks the site wide open.
I have the spike.
And he gets the showstopper online.
Spike planted. My ult's ready.
Calm announcement of the payload.
Fire in the hole.
And now,
Just
popped.
delay.
The fuse lit. Time bought. I fired it a little bit earlier than I expected.
This paranoia is going to get a lot of value. A lot of members hit here. Aspas, he gets caught out once again.
Even one, striking when the moment's right. But again, MIBR holding the line. It's all on to Calm. A 1v3. Make that 2. Time short. 67 HP. It's not happening. Cortesia does it again, and MIBR find themselves one step away once more.
And it's so impressive to be able to switch after that grueling defense that you had to go through.
What a play.
How slow you had to approach the rounds, the retakes against Leviatán, and then to be able to explode on a dime like that. Artzine, he's a real master on this raise, Doug. And that was such a clutch entry on that man right there, who was so good on the defensive side for Leviatán.
Fraud getting involved in the conversation.
This is a great moment. You're in the lead, you take a timeout, you can reinforce everything that you need to do if you're Fraud in this moment.
Yeah, I think here, if you're MIBR, you're going, yeah, how do we set up Aspas? You imagine he's going to be running the glass cannon op. And if you're Leviatán, given how proficient it was and how prevalent it was on their defensive side, you've got to know what's coming.
And for Aspas, so far, he's been getting punished on taking these aggressive angles with the operator. Maybe, just looking to fall back on a more passive line. Allow the fight to come to him.
Maybe, but you've also got 2 swords here. Because even if Aspas doesn't find value with the op, our team's dropped 24. Oh, it's going to be fast towards A? And Aspas is here. Glass cannon op.
This is what happened last time, though.
Again, the opportunity. Remember how Aspas was punished here. You're right. But it's a different line. It's a different angle. He was low. Now, peeking and connecting. Calm down.
Scout destroyed.
More to be found, though. You see the smoke going back sight. The defense taking a step back. They realize they have the advantage, and Aspas does it again. Slowly being picked apart. Hopes and dreams starting to dash and quickly becoming nightmare. Again, 3 remaining for Lev. And a weapon change for Aspas. The problem just got notably harder. He's got the dash procced. The nades do both double Duelist. King starting to get flushed out. He got the short. He cannot connect onto it. It's only Texan attack now. Pressure from heaven, pressure from main. Again, corners closing in, and he will fall. Made in Brazil, but thriving in North America. Their best performance in the partnership era. MIBR advance.
A legacy-defining battle that we have just witnessed. With an interview of Fraud, he said, This roster wasn't his plan A, it wasn't his plan B, it wasn't even C, it was D. As soon as Aspas became available, they dropped everything for him, molded a team around him, and he took up such a big role. He's not just a star duelist anymore. He's not just Brazil's finest. He's a leader to a younger generation that put on such an amazing performance in this series. And Naswer, you gotta think, man, when he was sitting at the sidelines watching Aspas, who was supposed to be his duo for that year, it's gotta feel good beating Leviatán, the team that he was supposed to do it with.
I think for MIBR, yeah, they've made top 4, and yeah, you gotta talk about how they've gotten here. Right, a grueling lower bracket run, but the job's not done. The job is far from done.
Top 4 secured, Doug, for the first time. Artzine is so impactful on this raise. He's honestly such an impressive player. The fact that he could play the initiator and switch it up and be as explosive as he is, making plays like this. But Aspas, yeah, he fumbled a couple times and a lot of those closing rounds in regulation, but that second overtime, or that overtime, man. Those 2 operator kills, you just felt it.
He was the finisher. He was the closer.
He always is. He always is.
Enemy remaining.
You see it one more time. An outrageous performance. We talked about how it was likely they were going to invest the glass cannon op, and I mean, they hit it. And they hit it at just the right time.
And he hit both shots.
Yep. Plenty to be excited for MIBR. Again, this was a roster that was built to change the tides. That was built to be able to compete. When you got Aspas, you've got Naswer, and then you have Artzine, there's a lot to be excited about. And I think we learned a lot about this team today. They got rinsed by 100 Thieves. Let's not sugarcoat it. They did not look good at the beginning of the year, and we thought, oh, it's just going to be more of the same for these guys.
They also got rinsed on the first map of the series on Lotus. But to bring it back and just in a grueling fashion on that second map, getting ecoed time and time, and then having this type of performance, winning in overtime. That's so much experience now under the belt for this squad.
We've got to say goodbye to Leviatán here. An early exit, I think earlier than anyone would have anticipated. Again, this was a roster that was built to win, and they find themselves taking a quick trip into the offseason. We're going to send it down to Elizabeth on the stage for the Verizon post-match interview with Naswer.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We end a map in OT because how else would we do it? And it's Naswer from MIBR, the man that led your team. And you and I were just talking. You were a little down on yourself because you weren't really getting that many kills towards the end of the map. But Naswer, let's be very, very clear. You led your team. You made the calls to get here and to get past the OT. But talk to me about the energy, like you were saying before.
Yeah, I think that last map was about energy. I was doing like a good performance in the last map, but also our team is doing the IGL.
Yeah.
So we are like together making some calls for the team, and I think in the split it was really hard to play in defense for me. I feel a little bit, but for sure the last rounds we could find what we need to do to win the game.
I mean, absolutely. And I want to talk about kind of the Aspas moment, obviously.
Yeah, he destroyed.
You take it away. Talk about Aspas.
Aspas is the best of the world. You know, like for me, he's the best player of the world, and he always show it. Like every game that he plays, he's always doing good calls, and he's very chill. You know, in the game. So he gives a lot of confidence for the team. So what we need to do when we are like closing one side of the map and everything. So yeah.
Simple as that. Is the best player in the world. Chill guy. Something I want to ask you about is we were talking a little bit before this as well, and you said there was a lot going into today, right? A lot of prep, a lot of work, and this has been a grueling lower bracket run for MIBR thus far. Talk to me about that prep for today.
I think like we prepared like each game. Like when we are facing a new team, we are studying them. We know what we need to do to win, but at the same time is what the tournament starts now, you know, like it's every game, every day you have a new opponent. So yeah, we're gonna wait the next match
Next match. And
This match is
Crew or Loud? Who do you think it's going to be?
I think like Loud. I think it's gonna be Loud. I feel like they're playing better for now. But you know, Crew is a team that he can always, you know, come back. So yeah.
They're scrappy. They're sneaky.
Yeah, yes, indeed. It's very good.
Everyone give for Nazar one more time, everyone. It's an astounding performance from MIBR and yourself. We're going to take a break, but you know what match is next. It is Loud versus Crew Visa.
I've got a bunch of different mice.
When you find the one, you know it's the one.
전 이게 제일 좋은 것 같아요.
Look at this. Isn't this perfect?
누가 만들었는지 알려주는 것도 같이 들어있고.
This mouse is ready for a fashion show.
It's Pulsar by me.
It's by me.
It's Pulsar by you.
The human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secretlab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.